channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. I wouldn't be able to keep making videos if you didn't keep coming back to watch them. Today, I'm going to be talking about talking to your foreign parents about not pursuing, you know, those 3 basic things that they deem to be successful: engineer, doctor, or lawyer. I myself had to go through that experience of telling my mom I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a doctor anymore. I definitely think this tip is going to be useful for children with immigrant parents. So stick around and watch the entire video. My whole life, I really thought that I was going to be a doctor. I just always liked science and math, so I felt like it made the most sense. And also in my house, that's all that my parents ever really talked about. Doctor, 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 doctor. Even when I thought at one point that I wanted to pursue law because I'm really great at stating an argument, supporting it. I like history, kind of. I felt that my personality would be great for law. My mom, when I brought that up, I think it was maybe in my sophomore year of high school, she completely turned me off to it. She was like, no, sometimes people don't need lawyers. There's no job security in law, blah, 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 blah. Now that I'm older, in my mid-20s, I'm thinking if I went to law school, I definitely would have entered politics because I'm still interested in politics. And in getting my master's in public health, there are a lot of people who have their MPH and JD. They go into health policy, they go to Washington, and they end up working in the White House as it relates to health policy. So hindsight is truly 2020. I mean, I wouldn't go to law school now, but that's what I mean. Like, foreign parents, they just put it in your mind to pursue what they want you to pursue because that's what they believe is successful. Like, they're living in America. This is a whole new world to them. We're in a generation where you can become famous off of anything, off of making YouTube videos, off of TikTok, off of going viral. There are so many opportunities in America to become successful. But when you have foreign parents who are coming to this country and they don't even know what that is, all they know is their whole life growing up, my parents are Nigerian, but their whole life, all they heard was doctor, lawyer, pharmacist, whatever. Because my grandfather on my mother's side was a pharmacist, and my grandfather on my father's side actually was a diplomat or something, and he like did stuff in Ghana. I don't know the whole story, but yeah. So anyway, in high school, she shot down law, so I just kept saying, okay, I'm gonna pursue medicine. That's just what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm meant to do. That's my destiny. I started applying to college. I only applied to pre-med bio programs. Again, I still like math and science, so it just made sense to me. When I was in high school, I was also working at a real estate office, and I thought, maybe I'll do real estate too, because I like to talk to people, and I like interior design, so that's a possibility. My mom shut that down and was like, what if the housing market crashes and like people don't blah, blah, blah. Not necessarily true because people are always gonna need a place to live, but I digress. So going into college, of course, I pursued pre-med biology. I started working in a pharmacy, as many of you know, as a pharm tech. Then I moved over to a hospital, and I started to become super integrated into the pharmaceutical industry. And I was like, wow, there's a whole other side of science. There's a whole other way to use my biology degree without going to med school? Nobody told me this. Like, nobody tells me this. No one, not my college counselors, not my high school counselors. I had no idea that you can do other things in science without having your doctorate degree or even a master's. So I stopped telling my mom things about my career and my choices after I started working in the pharmacy. She was kind of comfortable with that idea. She was like, wow, that's so great. I think I was making like $15 an hour or something in college. She was like, wow, that's great. You're making $15 an hour. Like, keep doing this job while you're in school. This is what I'm talking about. Get experience, learn what you like, what you don't like. That's the one piece of advice that I really like that she gave me, is to try different things, because that's how I ended up volunteering in hospitals, and that's how I ended up working at the pharmacy in the first place. So as I was working in the pharmacy, I would start studying for the MCAT my junior year, and I would talk to the pharmacist about different things. They used to explain to me how drugs work and how it helps fight infection and diseases. And I was like, this is so interesting. Why don't they teach you this in undergrad? Like, stuff that actually makes sense. I get that OChem is like the fundamental level of it, but why can't you actually teach me in that way? Like, give me a case study of a patient and show me on a mechanistic level how this drug attacks that disease. I don't know, for some reason I just feel like I didn't really learn it that way in college, and it would have definitely been helpful. Like, anyway, I kept working in the pharmacy, and I stopped talking to my mom about my career choices because I knew she was just gonna keep pressuring med school. And my junior year in college, I already made it up in my mind. I was like, I will attempt to apply to med school like 2 or 3 times, and if I don't get in, I'm moving forward with my life, because I personally don't feel like I need to show my intelligence. I personally don't feel like I need to kill myself trying to prove my intelligence to the American medical college association. Like I just didn't like that. And also I just feel like the MCAT purposely tries to trick you and give you all these different things when I'm working in the real world and I know how these things work. I can engage in conversations. I talk to doctors all the time about different medications, about clinical trial design. So I just thought to myself, like, I'm already working, getting this experience, and I could do something else more meaningful rather than spend the next 4 or 5 years of my life trying to get into med school, proving that I know what I'm already doing. So I got to my senior year and I told my mom that I wanted to take a year off of school because I needed a mental break. And she was like, yeah, I agree, like just work. And I told her that I got a really good job from a university and then I got a really good job from a pharmaceutical company. When I told her the salary that they were gonna pay me as a fresh college grad, she was like, wow, like that's really good. I can't believe it. Like, yeah, it makes sense. Work there for a year and then apply to school. So I started working for a year and then I told her I wanted to go back to school and get my master's in public health. She was like, okay, that's good. Like, yeah, but you're still gonna go to med school, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And each year, I felt like I was lying to myself, but each year I was just like, I don't know if I really want to go to med school anymore. Like, I don't know. And if I do, I don't want to feel like I'm being pressured to do it. I know I'm telling this story and it's very long, but I promise you there's advice at the end of this. So I went and got my master's, and when I was working at my next job, I got a higher increase. And then my pay raise just kept going up and up and up. After I got my master's, it went up. After I graduated from graduate school, I went to my mom and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to go to med school anymore. And I was like, if I do become a doctor of any kind, I think I would do PharmD. And she immediately looked at me and I could see like the hurt in her eyes, as if I just like ripped her heart out. And she was like, why? Your dad would be so proud if one of his kids were a doctor, blah, 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 blah. My dad passed away, so that's why she was saying that. And I did not like that because I felt like she was weaponizing something against me. So I kind of just told her, I was like, at the end of the day, I can reach the same amount of success as a physician. Like, I don't have to be a doctor to create impact. And honestly, for me, it's not about the money, it's about what I'm actually doing. So she sat and listened, and I explained to her regulatory affairs and the career trajectory. And I explained to her the career trajectory of a pediatrician, because that's originally what I wanted to be. I'm just throwing numbers out there. Nothing is actually fact, but pediatricians make about, last time I checked, $129,000 a year or something. Pediatricians and family practice are the lowest paying physicians. People in regulatory affairs, you guys have seen my regulatory affairs video where I talk about the salary that people make. They make more than some doctors. So when I told her that and told her what my relation in regulatory affairs is to the medical world, she was like, wow, I never knew that. I never even knew that there were other things that people do. I didn't even know what you're doing was a career. She still doesn't fully understand what regulatory is, but does anybody? I feel like I try and explain it, but no one really fully understands sometimes. So she was like, wow, that's really great. I'm saying all of this to say that my mom became comfortable with me no longer becoming a medical doctor when I ensured her that I would be okay without that doctorate. When I ensured her that I would be able to support myself and her, because y'all know how immigrant parents are, support when she retires, support myself and her when she retires, and I would be able to support my family. I would be able to live a really good life, and all the sacrifices that she had made coming to America would be 100% worth it, with or without that medical degree. At the end of the day, your parents really just want to make sure that you will be able to take care of yourself. I know some immigrant parents, again, it took my mom like 10 years to be okay with me not being a doctor anymore. Sometimes you just have to wait it out and prove to them that you'll be successful without what they thought would be deemed success. If you're struggling with your parents right now and you're a college student or you're a high school student or whatever age you are, and getting them to understand that you don't want to pursue what they deem to be success, slowly but surely start to implement into your conversations with them facts about how you will be okay and how you will be successful without pursuing those 3 degrees, doctor, engineer, or lawyer. You don't have to do those things to be successful. There are people on YouTube who literally make more than the president of the United States. There are people on TikTok who literally make more than a neurosurgeon, than a lawyer. So it's all about providing your parents with the information that they need to make sure that you'll be okay. I know that this video was very long-winded, but I do hope that it provided resourceful information for some of you, all of you. Again, slowly but surely start to tell your parents that you'll be okay with or without. It's gonna be annoying and really hard to have these conversations with them because sometimes they just don't get it in any way, case, or form. But there will come a time where your parents reach the level of acceptance that my mom did. She is extremely happy with where I am in my career. She literally brags about me still. She still brags, like, even though people don't fully understand what I do, she's just like, oh, she's in clinical research. Yeah, my daughter is in clinical research, yeah. She works in hematology, oncology, you know. Doctors come to her, they talk to her. So yeah, I think it just takes time, but I wish you guys all the best of luck. Again, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more career advice, tips, and tricks. Put your comments down below. I want to hear stories about you guys talking to your parents about it. And if you still need advice about how to talk to your parents or how to even start the conversation, again, put comments down below and I will respond. But like I said, it's slowly putting little pieces into your conversations with them. All right, that's all. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Until next time.